Yes, well, as the last part of the name suggests, it is a true Chamber of Commerce, and it was begun 26 years ago now as a vision of a Swedish businessman in Brussels originally. In Africa and Europe, it's been very strong for some time. There's 4 African countries that are quite specifically been impacted: the Liberia, Benin, Rwanda, and Burundi. There's been a call from those governments to ICCC to help develop some projects in their country. Some have been in the educational area, and some in other infrastructure areas. And as a result of that, they've seen a number of developments, business developments, etc. And also from that time, there's been a connection to Israel from those countries. There's been some matchmaking of business to Israel, and as well as doing business ethically, it's actually also prophetic in terms of being strategic in the business and the working life that you're called into. What those efforts and the results of those efforts actually do, and they can be strategic in history and in the community you're involved with and your country. And as you look back on history, there's certain key times when businesses and trading and commerce has actually changed an economy or a nation or a community. And there are certain prophetic things where God would speak to people who are listening to Him about prophetic actions required to open up a market or a way of life that may be contrary to what's happening already.
Because there are times when, as a Christian businessman, you do have to, I guess, take a stand and say, I can't, as a Christian, support the direction that this is taking me. I know this has happened. This has happened in your own case. Because just backtrack slightly, you run a meatworks down in the South Island. I can hear the rolling R's in your accent. But you faced a challenge like that, didn't you?
You were going back 30 years now, and the meat industry was changing from what we had known it and into processing stock with the halal kill methods, and I guess that was fine for the certain group that they were working with, but it ended up going beyond that and getting to a stage where virtually all the works were processing that way, and a number of Christian farmers, businessmen, prefer not to have their stock killed that way, and they'd prefer to have it done differently. And yet the options were being reduced, and as one works in our province, which maintained the standard method of kill, and that works has been supported by a number of those Christian farmers, and so the thing that also we would suggest is that these days people would like to have enough information to make quality choices, and so in that area I believe there's still a challenge to us to be more transparent.
Mm. Does being a member of ICCC help you in those sort of challenging areas when you're trying to run a business ethically along Christian principles? And as I said, there are always challenges.
Yes, well, it gives you access to a widened network of people in business around the world, and I think we all face the challenge of perhaps going a different way to the way that the world's tracking. and that's probably common in many places of the world. And to be able to hear testimonies of how people have managed in their business and other areas is very helpful. And so there's that aspect to it. And just even the teaching and training that has been developed from ICC is also very good too. I think it does create a curiosity when God's involved in business that is beyond just being merely religious, another form of religion. And I think if you actually start researching what's happened in Scripture, you go back into many areas. I suppose Joseph would be an example where God had picked him up from the prison and put him into a place of responsibility to oversee the commerce of the country, and Daniel as well. Sometimes Christians think that commerce and God don't go together, but yet he's very involved with that. I think the term mammon, which sometimes people just think of as money, is not really the case. It's actually the world system of operating commerce without God. And when you operate it with God, he's really happy.
Ross, thank you very much indeed for joining us.
Thanks, Alan.